On the news at 7, Osrc searchlight on economic impacts of point-of-sale businesses in rural communities. Federal Executive Council announces full implementation of Naira for crude deal. Federal government proposes 300 billion Naira fund for graduate entrepreneurs. And from the foreign scene, dozens killed, scores injured in Dominican Republic nightclub tragedy.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to the news at 7, coming to you live on Osrc television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Uti. The Federal Executive Council has directed the full implementation of the suspended Naira for crude agreement with local refiners. The Ministry of Finance confirmed the development on its official X handle. This came after a key meeting on Tuesday to review progress and tackle ongoing issues. Recall that the first phase of the 6-month deal involving the federal government, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, and Dangote Petroleum Refinery ended March 31, 2025. In a new update, the committee said a long-term plan to cut Nigeria's dependence on foreign exchange for petroleum. It added that the initiative is not time-bound intervention, but a key policy directive designed to support sustainable local refining and bolster energy security. The federal government has revealed that plan to launch a 300 billion Naira graduate entrepreneurship fund to assist youths to set up their businesses and pursue their dreams of being self. Osrc, who stated this while delivering the convocation lecture at the Lagos State University of Jos, said the efforts were part of steps being taken by the Bola Tinubu administration to steer Nigeria from a resource-based economy to a knowledge-based one. Osrc noted that a graduate will be able to access at least 10 million naira and, if need be, could be given something higher. He added that a lot of innovations and changes have been made in the education sector, including the introduction of the student loan scheme that has seen over 145 billion naira dispersed so far. The European Union, in collaboration with the federal government, is advancing efforts to promote circularity in the fashion and textile industry as part of the global push for a zero-waste future under the United Nations agenda. The EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Goethe Mignot, speaking at Nigeria's commemoration of the International Zero Waste 2025, emphasized the urgent need to tackle the staggering waste produced by the textile industry, currently estimated at 92 million tons annually, due to its devastating environmental and social impact. According to him, the widespread use of fossil fuel-based synthetic fibers contributes significantly to microplastic pollution, further threatening ecosystems and human health. Mignot highlighted the EU's ongoing collaboration with Nigeria's Federal Ministry of Environment and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization through the Nigeria Circular Economy Working Group to counter these challenges. Now to Rivers State, where the sole administrator, Vice Admiral retired Ibok Ete Ekwe Ebas, has approved of previously suspended boards of agencies, commissions and parastatals. This development comes amid mounting legal and political tensions in the state, with the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt having earlier barred EBAs from making such appointments. The appointments are the latest twist in a protracted political power tussle in Rivers State, which has intensified since the expiration of the tenure of local council chairman, originally elected under former Governor Nyesom Wike. Now, the increase in point-of-sale POS operators has become central to Nigeria's informal banking network, filling the gap in rural communities where access to formal banking remains limited. While many depend on POS services for daily transactions, these agents simply step in where the formal banking system falls short. Blessed Bobe tells us more.
Across Nigeria, access to formal banking remains a challenge, particularly in rural and semi-urban areas. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, over 38 million Nigerian adults remain financially excluded, many of them living in hard-to-reach communities. In the absence of bank branches, an informal banking system is thriving on street corners, in open-air markets, and roadside kiosks. Point-of-sale POS operators have become a familiar sight, emerging as key players in Nigeria's growing informal financial ecosystem. They bring essential banking services such as cash withdrawal, deposits, fund transfers, and even bill payments closer to the people. Since the introduction of agent banking in 2013, the number of registered POS terminals has grown exponentially, rising from just over 150,000 in 2018 to more than 1.6 million as of 2024, according to the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System.
POS network is 85% okay. 85% okay online bank network. So before you walk from one electric post to other, you see 1, 2, 3 POS. So very easy to access. You can leave your house and get your money outside your house. You can leave your house and deposit your money outside your house. Very easy to access. POS give a lot of people save employment.
However, their services comes at a cost, with POS operators saying service charges are necessary, citing operational cost.
The charges is not much. For instance, the data we are doing 350 naira before, we use it in a whole month. It's done 1,000 naira 7 days. And POS data, you cannot off it. It's 24 hours. Are you getting me? And all these policies that, imagine, when 10,000 naira, when you are withdrawn 10,000 naira from you now, CBN will deduct 50 naira. Are you getting me? And I'm charging 200 naira. When CBN deduct 200 naira, POS too, they will deduct their own. Don't forget that I'm buying paper. Are you getting me? The paper we are buying for 400 naira before is now 2,600.
A financial analyst, Stephen Awurere, says these agents are playing a crucial role in expanding Nigerians' financial landscape.
It's the only opportunity for the unbanked sector to have access to financial services. Without POS operators, how will people, for example, in my village, where there is no bank, how will they get access to financial services? So it is the POS system that provides that coverage for them.
He further noted that POS services are not replacing banks, but complementing them, especially in undeserved areas, making financial services more accessible.
They are not stopping the banks. They are not stopping the banks. The bank has a plethora of services they can and which they are offering, which POS cannot offer in the first place. For example, for anybody to really enjoy the services of POS now, that person must already be banked.
The rise of POS operators in rural Nigeria is a direct response to the gaps left by traditional banks, and their relevance is growing by the day. With digital and agent banking expected to drive Nigerians' financial inclusion goals, POS operators remain a vital bridge between the informal and the formal financial.
In part 2, after the break, the Ondo State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, has inaugurated a new leadership to pilot the affairs of the council for the next 3 years. Do join us again. Thank you for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the news. The Ondo State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, has inaugurated a new leadership to pilot the affairs of the council for the next 3 years. The election, conducted under the supervision of NUJECO, a 3-man electoral committee, and in accordance with the council's constitution, notes that the inauguration ceremony was graced by all NUJ council chairmen from the Southwest, Labour leaders in Ondo State, as well as other notable personalities.
Motion to dissolve the former ESCO, where Neke was the chairman, and we have Meshach Oloru as secretary and other ESCOs.
This is the national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Mr. Al-Hassan Yahya, represented by the vice president, Southwest, Ronke Samo, formally dissolving the outgoing executive and presenting the new leadership for inauguration in Ondo State.
Nigeria, I present this certificate of return to Adeleke Sikiru Adegbite of April 2025 to April 9th, 2028. Congratulations.
Mr. Adeleke Adegbite, having successfully completed his first 3-year term as chairman of the Ondo State Council of Journalists of NUJ, takes the oath of office for his second term. The oath was administered by a legal practitioner from the Ondo State Ministry of Justice, David Ebriku.
As may be required for the due discharge of my duties as the chairman, Ondo State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. So help me God. So help me God.
Once again, Prince Leke Adegbite, congratulations.
In his remarks, Mr. Adegbite appreciated the support of NUJ members in the state over the past 3 years and called for greater collaboration to ensure effective administration.
The major thing that we are going to do is to expand the press center, to upgrade the status of a press center, and to also ensure that our members, we have and we ensure that those who are due for promotion, we get it for them. Those who are working with government, those who are working with private organizations, we will surely be there for them at every particular time.
Speaking on the election process, chairman of the NUJ Electoral Committee, Ayo Falano, described the process as seamless and in strict compliance with the union's constitution.
We came up with guidelines to have people obtaining forms. The guidelines and regulations in line with national directive and the constitution of the union.
In their goodwill messages, Ondo State's NLC chairman, Ademola Olapade, chief press secretary to the Ondo State governor, Ebenezer Adeniyo, chairman of NUJ chairman in the Southwest, Ademola Babalola, among others, charged the new leadership on purposeful and credible representation.
All of us are working for you, but we don't have anybody from case to good leadership between people and
the administration of Dr. Lovi Orinisa Yetatua has enjoyed the support of NUJ in the last 15 months that we have been in office. And I want to promise you that the government will continue to improve on its relationship with members of the pen profession.
Adeleke Adegbite, who had earlier served 2 consecutive terms as General Secretary of the State Council, has now been inaugurated for a second term as Chairman. Other members of the new executive include Olaoluwa Meshak as General Secretary, Precious Oluwole, Assistant Secretary, and Oyeladun Famakiwa as Treasurer. Omoriola Mbeji, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the Ondo State chapter of the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWAJ, is set to host the 2025 edition of its annual. The one-week-long celebration is dedicated to promoting excellence in journalism and fostering fellowship among media professionals. According to the statement, this year's event will run from Sunday, April 13th to Thursday, April 17th, 2025, featuring a rich lineup of activities designed to inspire, engage, and honor the contributions of women in the media space. The celebration kicks off on Sunday, April 13th with a Thanksgiving service as members will come together in gratitude and reflection. Speaking ahead of the celebration, the chairperson of Ondo NAWAJ, Tola Badamosi, noted that NAWAJ Week is not just a tradition but also provides a platform to reconnect, appreciate the women, growth, and inspire one another. And from the NUJ, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Rabadi has received over 60 victims recently rescued from captivity in Zakum, Kataf, southern Kaduna, following sustained military operations. The victims, who had been held for over a month, include a deputy director in the civil service and a relative of Bishop Matthew Kuka. The group, comprising 35 males and 29 females and children, were formally handed over to the Minister of Defense. Rescue workers continue to pull people from the debris with fears that more victims remain trapped. Omosheke Olobode has details.
Of music and dancing in Caribbean capital quickly transformed into a tragedy. The popular entertainment venue reduced to ruins, killing many and leaving others trapped under the rubble. Emergency service rushed to the scene and the search for survivors began. Dozens of ambulances ferried the injured to hospital. The scale of the collapse became clear as the sun rose and relatives clamored for news of their missing loved ones as authorities issued a call for Dominicans to dominate blood.
Our government continues working in the search and rescue of people who are still trapped under the rubble. We have reached people who are alive.
Among those announced dead was the governor of Montcruz Municipality, Nestor Cruz, who succumbed to her injuries in hospital. Arriving at the scene, President Luis Abinader urged those to waiting for news.
Since last night, we've been following minute by minute this tragedy so that all the resources and government emergency institutions can be available. But we still have a way to go. We have faith in God that we will rescue even more people.
The cause of the incident is yet known. The owners of the nightclub says they are cooperating with authorities. Flags across the Caribbean nations will be flown at past as authorities continue their search for survivors. Omosheke Olodode, OSRC News.
Now to Greece, where workers are expected to walk off the job to protest low wages. Unions have called for a 24-hour nationwide strike to demand a pay rise. 4 years of high inflation has hit households hard, and many people say they can't afford basic food. Greeks are now among the poorest Europeans. Kunle Ario tells us more.
The Hellenic cast off from the island of Egunon, bound for the port of Paras next to Athens. Passenger shipping is a mainstay of Greece's tourism industry in the summer months, bringing in more than $22 billion. Ships depart around the clock and crews work 12-hour days. Captain Joro Santos says he is satisfied with the 6% pay rise his union negotiated with employers this year.
Everyone is covered by the collective wage agreement. There was a period during the financial crisis when collective agreements didn't happen, but for the past 4 or 5 years, we've been getting decent annual raises.
The passenger shipping industry benefits from the collective wage bargaining, in which unions set annual pay rises with employers, but only 1 in 4 Greeks enjoys such wage agreements. The rest of the workforce earns on average 20% less. Private sector unions say it is because of the post-2009 global financial crisis.
Our Confederation's top demand is to bring back collective wage bargaining. Before 2012, half of Greek workers had collective wage agreements, but there was also a national wage agreement signed by employers and unions, which meant more than 90% of workers enjoyed certain benefits, such as maternity leave. Now the government has put individual contracts at the heart of its policy, but individuals are powerless to bargain with their employers.
Many households say they have been forced to cut down on basic food supplies. The government has tried to address that by raising the minimum wage and says average salaries are rising too, but people say not by enough and not everyone is in the same boat. On average, public sector workers earn higher salaries than everyone else. They want to go back to 14 salaries a year, which included an Easter and Christmas bonus, but that would cost $3.5 billion and sink Greece's carefully balanced budget. Kunle Ariyo, Osrc News.
President Donald Trump has given orders of self-deport to migrants who obtained temporary permission to live in the United States through the CBP-1 app under former President Joe Biden immediately. According to a U.S. media, U.S. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said formal termination notices had been issued to certain illegal aliens, but did not provide details on how they were selected. Starting in January 2023, the CBP-1 app allowed migrants to schedule appointments at certain southwestern U.S. ports. The executive chairman of the board, Mr. and directed to hand